So welcome, Chef Yana. What
What's
an
up?
introduction. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Very good, thank you. Tell me, tell your friends, how did you become a sushi chef? Was it a decision inspired by a memory or love of fish or sushi? And how did Chef Yana come to be?
Um, it was by mistake. So my mom, she works in the kitchen all her life. So she brought me in the kitchen, but she knows everything about pastry and hot kitchen. So the restaurant when she worked before, they were hire people in sushi bar.
Okay.
And that moment I graduated college, so she said I have to go to work, and she just hired me. And I start working in the restaurant. I start doing prep, rice, and all small things. And
So,
I didn't like that.
yeah.
It was not my passion. It was not my dream. I just came to work, make some money, go to party, and it was just
A routine.
yes, routine. Yeah.
Now, I was going to say, that's the beauty. So far, it wasn't planned.
No, not at all. No. Because I saw how my mom, she's working so hard. She always at work. So I told her I would never work in the kitchen. No.
Never say never.
Never. Never say never.
So see, that's probably unexpected to a lot of people. People always think that there's a predicted path that we go on. Life is so simple, just plan it out. Nothing goes as planned. I live in Edmonton, and I always said I will never live in Edmonton. It was one of my top 3 places in Canada. I said I will never move here. Well, I bought a house here last year, so
Congratulations.
thank you. So I live here now. um, Amazing. So thank you for answering question one. That's probably the question that most people would want to know. Who is Chef Yana and how did she come to be? In short, by accident.
Excellent.
Right?
Yes.
All right. So here's a nice little free publicity for where you work. You now work at Sunset Sushi Omakase in Florida, which is both your workplace but also your stage for Instagram. So I'm curious, were the owners kind of just immediately cool with you filming, or did they need to warm up to this idea? Or they like, what are you doing? Like, you have to prep sushi. You are, I am, but also publicity.
It was not an issue at all. They let me do it. And also when I came to the interview, it was my agreement. So I have to do my
Really?
video, and the chef, he just let me do it. He said, okay, that's your studio, you can do whatever you want.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Also, I might add that is a very strong businesswoman stance. You're like, if you want me, I kind of have two angles.
Mm-hmm.
I can do my sushi prep really well, but also I create content. And as I said, it's also good publicity, to be honest, for the restaurant.
Yes, yes. It's
Now, is your boss, is it, well, not that you need to say who it is, but is it the other guy you work with in some reels? Is it David?
yes,
Okay, I thought so. He's been working at the restaurant for a while as well?
yes, he works in the restaurant a long time.
Well, that's amazing. I'm happy for you that
Yeah, thank you,
it
me
sounds
too.
like you didn't have to negotiate too hard. You're like,
No,
this is the Chef Yana package, right?
no, yes, thanks God.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Now, this is a question that I'm asking as a kitchen knife lover, but also as a home cook,
Okay.
but also as a kitchen knife content creator. So there's a lot to unpack there. But basically, so you came to be Chef Yana by accident. You have a restaurant that fully supports you in what you do, both as a sushi chef and as a content creator. But as a knife content creator myself, one of the first things I realized that you do is you make all this awesome content without ever speaking a word. Now, as you know, with content creation, it all starts with a hook, and then you kind of lay out what you're gonna do or show the audience so that you get them hooked till the end.
Mhm.
And you do it without even saying a word, which to me is even more difficult than when you speak. Because when you speak, you could be like, I don't know what the hook is. You've never seen this $10,000 knife, and you show the knife and then you unbox it, for example.
Mhm.
Now, was this also by accident that the main theme of the content you created is just storytelling through visuals? Like, was this a decision that you made voluntarily?
Honestly, I would like to speak, in English, but it's
Yeah.
not. I'm not a native, so and I'm kind of shame because I can make mistakes or say something wrong. So I just prefer don't speak, just show what I'm doing. But I would like to. Maybe in the future, yes. I have to improve my skills, my speaking skills. Um, yeah, but for now, everything is going well without that. But I think so. If I start my YouTube channel in the future, it will be
Oh,
great.
nice.
Yes, I'm still thinking.
Yeah.
I'm still thinking.
Well, let's pretend like this is one of those Twitch streams. In chat, let's show Chef Yana some love because I think she speaks English extremely well. And I know that when we say we're shy, it's always personal. So even me telling you you're amazing,
Thank you.
don't give up, means nothing, but it should. Guys, put some hearts in the chat. I even had someone say your actions speak louder than words. So I think that's a great compliment as well.
Thank you. Because also when I moved to United States, like 7 years ago, I didn't speak English at all. Was zero.
Really?
Yes, zero English.
So how many years now have you been learning English, I guess?
It's like first 3 years I didn't speak English because I was working with Russian people. So 3 years I didn't speak at all, and around 4 years now I speak.
That's amazing.
First, when I start working in the kitchen, I use Google Translator
Yeah,
to
of course.
ask something, but they can send me something back. I was lost.
Well, extra kudos because I had no idea. And I think that's another beautiful compliment when it doesn't look like you're trying, it's always a compliment, right? When you try, people notice you trying. When you don't try, people just say, you speak English perfectly fine.
Yeah,
So
I
I
didn't
encourage
try.
you. Yeah, I encourage you if ever. I do know that in one of the more recent reels, I remember hearing you speak. I'm like, oh no, but in my question, I say she never speaks, but you said a few words in a former reel.
Yeah.
So this is great. This is Chef Yana 2025.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
It's great. All right, another question I have for you is what's the craziest fish you've ever eaten or prepared for the restaurant?
Of course, to prepare it's tuna. That's the
Okay.
craziest fish because of the size and power and everything. Yes, it's tuna. But to eat, I think so. I didn't eat something crazy because we cannot get something crazy stuff from to America. I can't say that. I don't eat something like fugu. Fugu is crazy,
Yeah,
but I
yeah,
never
that's
eat that.
yeah. It's funny because that was my next question is if ever there was a fish you would love to learn to prepare, like fugu.
I think so. I don't want to take that responsibility.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Just to watch how to do it, okay, but to do that, no.
Yeah.
I don't want to take a risk.
I don't blame you. It's one heck of a risk.
Yeah, so no.
I enjoyed the YouTube videos, but that's it.
Yes, so from the far.
Yeah. And I feel like in Florida, maybe I'm mistaken. Let me know. Lionfish, which I know is a poisonous fish, is that something that ever gets prepared for sushi preparation or no?
Not really. I never see. Maybe some restaurants do, but we not.
Yeah.
We don't use any local fish also. We use all Japanese fish.
Yeah. So it is then just Japanese fish omakase restaurant.
Yes. 100%.
Shout out to Shout out then to Sunset Sushi Omakase because that's pretty cool. It means that they have a theme they're going with and they're able to execute that as well.
Yeah.
And tuna is probably the largest fish that you've prepared for sushi, I would imagine?
The largest, the biggest. Yes, it's tuna. It's
Amazing.
fun to work with that.
Yeah, I saw you using the Maguro Bocho, which is a two-handed job, right?
Yes, it's heavy.
Do you need to use body weight at all in the preparation of tuna with the Maguro Bocho? Because I know there's a lot of leaning, but is it really all the knife that does the job, or do you need to push your weight into it?
Yeah, of course you have to push it.
Right.
Of course, yes.
Especially on that final cut through the pretty thick skin.
Oh, yes. Yes. But it's fun.
Now, here's a shout out for your merch. Near the end of 2024, you got your own merch, which I might agree looks mighty badass, honestly. I'm in love with the art style. I'm not sure who did the art style, but how did your merch store come to be? Was that also an idea someone kind of just pitched to you? Did you think that was just a natural continuation of Chef Yana's content creation?
I think so. It was natural, and also I was searching another um, influencers,
Yeah.
and I start thinking, so maybe I should do something mine, and I
Yeah.
start thinking about t-shirts like merch or whatever, and I start thinking about my design, and basically I create that design, and I found designer, and he just draw that for me. That's all.
That's it. I came up with a design that was badass, and I found a designer.
Yes, I found
Another
designer.
kudos. Honestly, I'm obsessed with cartoony style designs.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be a cartoon artist as my first job, as a completely unrelated
Mm-hmm.
thing, I'm gonna say. For Walt Disney, I would pause the movie and then I would trace. And so that kind of became my art style, and I read comic books. So that's why your art style speaks to me. There's nothing more quirky than taking a human that's filled with complexity and then just turn it into. Would you say it's cartoony or comic book style, or none of the two?
Cartoon.
Cartoon, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes. So I was just thinking what kind of style I want. Maybe something simple, but I was going to do something simple, but everything turns opposite.
Yeah. No, of
It's
course.
so much color. It's me, and I like it. Yeah, it looks cool.
Do you have any new designs that people may expect in the next coming months?
Uh Not coming months, but maybe a couple of months. I'm still thinking, and I want to do something simple.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
I'm
so
gonna
hard.
try.
When I came up with this logo, I remember being really happy with it.
Uh-huh.
And then I thought, this isn't simple in terms of silk screening, right?
Yes.
Because every color is an extra screen. And so I thought, I need 6 screens for my logo. I said, I need to find a simple way to do this. So even when a design looks simple to most people, again, the business aspect of it, the way we think about it is, well, if it's silk screen, like how many screens do you need? How many colors is it? And
Yeah.
it's so difficult to make a logo with few colors, but that still looks complex in a way, right?
Yes, agree. It's hard. It's hard to print it. It's hard to
Yeah.
find a good print and everything because it's so much colors, and my logo it's huge. It's a big
Yeah.
size. It's not small. So
Do you also do your own photography for the merch store?
no, everything I do it's by myself. I just
Yeah.
have my admin. He built a website for me, but all
Yep.
footage, video, it's just by me.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. No big deal. Love it. I mean, this is why I've been excited to speak to you too for a year, because again, as someone who is trying to, in a way, I get inspired by your content every day. I'm like, that's a great idea. That's a great knife to use. That's a way of preparing that I haven't seen. I think what you do too is you make omakase more approachable, right? Where people seem to think that omakase, and it is a specific type of fine dining where you get an appreciation for a variety of fish dishes prepared to you by sushi chefs. At the same time, when you can show behind the scenes like you do, it makes it relatable. And people, I think, not only relate to you, but they then want to come and try the type of food that you make. Even if they're not in Florida, they'll try it somewhere else. And so it's a big win for just the whole omakase scene.
Yeah, it works well. I met a lot of my followers
Yeah.
in my
Yeah.
job, and it's cool to meet them like in person, and they try my food, and it's awesome.
How was the experience with Chef Hero?
Oh, it was great. He's fun. We did shooting like we start 11 a.m. and we finish 6 p.m.
Oh,
It was the whole day, but time fly.
yeah.
And we did a lot of different kind of recipes. So video is gonna come up maybe next week. So we'll see.
That's
It was
amazing.
fun because I was waiting for Chef Hero like 2 years, because 2 years ago he was text me in Instagram and he asked me, "Hey, let's do collab." I was like, "Yeah, sure, of
No
course, let's
way.
do it."
Yeah.
And 2 years, nothing.
Yeah.
And a couple of months ago he texted me like, "Let's do it." I was like, "Okay," but I didn't believe him.
Yeah.
I was like, "Okay, let's do it," but okay, he gonna forget.
Yeah. Just casually texting you, let's collab. You're like, yeah, sure. Yeah, yeah, okay.
And yeah, we did it again. We did it. Hopefully, we're gonna do it again.
And in less than 2 years is what I hope for you.
Yes. Yeah. At least 1 year.
Exactly. 1 year is okay. 2 years starts to feel a little bit long.
Yeah, a little bit long.
Now, was the collab in Florida?
Yes, it was in Florida.
Yeah.
It was Miami downtown.
Oh, nice. Oh, whew.
Yeah, it was cool.
Trendy place to be doing a collab too with two legendary chefs. That's pretty amazing.
Yes, it was cool.
So then, speaking of Chef Hero, that brings me to kind of my next question, which is about travel. If you could travel anywhere to prepare fish for a week, what knives and tools would you bring with you? And also location. Is there a place you would love to go to prep it? You don't necessarily need to go there to learn, but maybe you want to prep fish in Hawaii for a week. And then what would you bring in terms of knives and tools? So give us an idea behind the sushi chef way of thinking.
Okay, so I think so. The number one, Japan. So I would like to take just my favorite knife, Yanagi,
Yeah.
Deba, and Moribashi.
Which is the longest? Your Yanagi is what, 270 or more?
No, 300.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
And now what else would you bring? So those are the knives. Is there anything else you would bring? Of course, a knife bag for those three. Do you have sayas or blade covers?
I have just like a special backpack for the knives because I
cool.
can fit more, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I can fit knives and a lot of like makeup shit and everything.
Yeah.
So it's important. Yeah, just chef jacket, apron, shoes, and that's it. Nothing crazy. Simple.
Tweezers to debone or no?
It depends on the fish.
Yeah, that's fair. In that same bag, would you put your camera equipment? A
Yes,
separate bag.
I can fit everything on that bag.
Tripod, cell phone holder. Do you use a camera or cell phone?
Usually at work, I don't use really a tripod. I just lean on my phone on something. That's it.
Yeah, it's the classic. It works.
Yeah, easy. Sometimes it's folded, but it's okay.
I have a bunch of different items I just store in a drawer that, depending on the height, I'll just grab that. Like, I have this amazing candle that, of course, the wax is gone. And I remember my partner wanted to throw it. I said, no. I said, this is great. Top-down angle when I'm over the stove. Just grab the candle, put the cell phone, make sure it doesn't tip. There's so many great things around the house, around the restaurant. You can lean or put it on top, right?
Yes, even better than tripod.
Yeah. Tripods.
Yeah, sometimes you have to fix it, bigger, smaller, so it just...
Much simpler approach.
Yes.
Now, in Japan, I know you've answered Japan, but Japan latitudinally goes from the Arctic, essentially, in like Hokkaido, the tropical Okinawa. Is there a specific place you would want to go or anyone you would want to work with? Or just travel in Japan as you...
travel.
Yeah.
Start at Tokyo and go wherever I can.
That way you get to see what fish is available depending on region too, which is super cool.
And learn as well.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, I definitely, as a fan of yours, wish that will happen. I hope that the collab with Chef Hero will happen in a year or less. And I hope that maybe in 2 years or less, you'll get to kind of live what really is a mini dream. Like, that would be an opportunity of a lifetime. And even for the current restaurant you're at, it could be a great way of kind of expanding either new techniques or new fish they didn't think about. Think of it as it's professional research is what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Travel and learn and...
Exactly.
Yeah. It's good combination.
Everybody wins. So here's a question I'll ask you that when people ask me, I always roll my eyes, but you try to be polite about it because it's a simple question, but it's always, what's your favorite knife and why? And for me, that changes maybe every 3 weeks. But right now, do you have a favorite knife and why?
Yes, my favorite knife is Yanagi.
Okay.
I love. I can do everything with that knife.
Yeah.
I don't know. I got used to. Um, I perfectly do everything with that knife. I feel confident. I like it. Um, that's it. Simple.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Can you mince garlic or shallots with the yanagi?
Yes, everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
I love when I see people so comfortable with a long knife that they make me feel inadequate when I use my 180 millimeter bunka to like dice a shallot. And I'm like, well, sushi chefs can do it with 300 millimeter. Maybe I should practice, and maybe I should.
Yes.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to send you a video at some point this week. I promise, just for fun, I will try to mince my first shallot with my yanagi, which is 270. So it's a bit shorter than yours, but I'll give that a try just so I can put myself in your shoes.
Okay, sounds good.
Because it's definitely sharp. I don't need that entire length. I know it'll draw to the left, so I'll just have to control a little
Yes,
bit.
you have to control.
Right?
But it's great skill that my chef said. You can basically do everything with yanagi. It's great knife.
Yeah.
It's always sharp, and basically good chef can do everything with one knife. That's it.
Well, in my defense, I don't know that I consider myself a good chef, which is okay because it means I have lots to learn. I'm sure when I cut the shallot with the yanagi, I'm gonna feel very honored and be like, "This is good. I have something to look forward to." If I nail it the first time, it's not fun. If it's messy, then it's okay. I have something to improve, right?
Yeah, but I mean, in the beginning, when I start using my yanagi, I cut my fingers every day. It was horrible to look at my fingers. But now,
Just chopped up.
yeah. Oh, but now I'm confident. I now maybe it's my problem because I can't feel so comfortable with another different knives. I don't.
Yeah, that's fair. Those are all my questions now. So thank you so much for answering them. We had over a dozen other questions. Luckily, some of them, you don't have a dozen questions left, just so you know. So you can breathe easy. Some of them were just copycats in a way, the same question duplicated. But I do have a few other good questions if you don't mind me asking.
Yeah, of course.
And I'll even say the user so they can feel heard. They're like, oh, I put that question and it was asked.
Yeah, go ahead.
So user Paco Gertel, which is a guy I speak to actually regularly, he has a beautiful collection of knives, both different lengths, styles, and just very bougie in terms of the look. He says, do you have any plans on opening your own restaurant?
Yes, I'm planning, but I'm looking for investor.
Ah, what is that?
If
What are you looking
find my
for?
investor, I'm gonna open my restaurant.
So basically, she's saying
Easy.
it's easy. Do I want? Yeah. Do I have the skill? Absolutely.
Yes,
Does someone want to help?
please.
Investors, there's got to be some big investors in here. I mean, you have 360,000 followers. Is that about right?
Yes.
You can tell I look at your account every day. I'm like, oh, she's at 360, she's at 370. So 360,000 opportunities for investment is what I'm hearing.
Hopefully, I can get it.
Now,
but yeah, I'm planning to do that.
I mean, that would be amazing. I feel like I would have to travel just to come see you and be like, well, we had this conversation once and she opened a restaurant. And now I just got to go say hi. Because believe it or not, I've never had an omakase experience.
Really? Oh.
So, I know.
You have to do it.
When I was in a traveling band, I never had the money to do it.
Okay.
Then when I went to Japan for like kind of business, but also fun, it just never happened. I think I would happily spend the money, but I didn't ask for it because, you know, when you ask, sometimes they give you exactly what you expect, but you just don't know what that price point is going to be. So I didn't want to make anyone uncomfortable. So I just went with the flow. So I've never been to omakase. There's a place in Edmonton, but I don't know if you've looked where I am on the map. We're not exactly close to the coast, and I don't know. I'm afraid of the quality. So maybe I'll just wait till I'm closer to the coast.
Don't be afraid.
No? Okay.
I think so. If I don't know, you should go. You should try. You
I'll
should
send
try
you the
one,
link.
another one, and after you
Yep.
can compare. You can understand what
Ooh.
quality is that.
I like where you're going with this. If I can try it, then I can compare, and I love
Yes,
comparing.
but you need to just to start.
I'll send you the link, and you can tell me what you think just based on the link itself.
Come to my
Um,
omakase.
that would also be absolutely fantastic. I'll keep all of these options on the table, I promise.
Yeah.
Now, by this same user, Paco Jertel, he wants to know specifically, how is the performance of the Majimi custom sushi knife, and is that something you would recommend to get a custom from Majimi?
Yes, of course. Majimi Max, he's
Yeah.
amazing. His craft, it's amazing. And I'm lucky have two his knives. And yes, those knives I'm using as like something special for special
Yeah.
day or special evening. So because those knives, it's totally different,
Mm-hmm.
and you take it more like serious. So yeah, of course, it's easy to sharp. It's very smooth to cut, but I'm not using it every day,
Yeah.
right? Because it's very hard to to take care of this knife,
Yeah.
and I don't want to mess it up. So I'm just hold it on my knife stand and just look, and if something special, I'm using it. But yeah, you definitely have to try to take it and use it. It's good.
So people can maybe even expect to see it at the Valentine's event,
Yeah,
or no, right?
yeah.
That would be the type of event you would be
Maybe.
like, this is special. I love the knife. The
Special
knife
knife,
loves you.
special knife.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's great quality. It's
Um, kind of my own question now, just because you mentioned knife wall in a way. In your home, do you have a knife wall, or is there a particular type of storage that you have? I'm just gonna turn my camera back on while you answer that.
okay.
Yep.
No, actually, I don't have any knives at home. I keep all my knives at work.
Yep.
Um, because I'm not using it at home. I'm not cooking at home. So
Eating at work?
even no, at work something just. I mean, at work I'm making food for the customers. You know, if you work in the kitchen, you just eat whatever left over or something,
Yeah,
just put in the
absolutely.
plate and just eat and go to work. You don't
Yep.
have time. At home, I don't want to cook at home to spend time for that.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't have any knives at home. No, I have,
That's
but
fair.
it's not like work knives.
It's not a display.
No, no.
See, that's the difference. You go to home chefs' homes, and we're all proud because maybe we have 20 knives, 10 knives, and we put 3 hours of use into it in a week. You put 3+ hours of it in a day. So it's a bit of a different relationship, I'm sure, as well with the kitchen knives, right?
Yes, different.
So let's see. We have another great question now from Steel for Food, which is an awesome account who not only kind of gives kudos to the knife smiths and the craftsmen, but then he always shows a dish that he makes inspired by that craftsman. So super cool account if you haven't checked it out. And his question is, what seafood slash ingredient do you feel doesn't get the appreciation it deserves? So, for example, caviar, people lose their mind over caviar. They might not even like it, but caviar.
Mhm.
But this is the opposite. What ingredient do you think should be elevated more? People should pay more attention to. It's not getting the attention it deserves.
I think so. Any food have to be appreciated.
Yeah.
It's not like the best food or bad food or something. Every food it's have to be appreciated for sure. The caviar, yes, it's very expensive. It's good. I'm big fan of caviar, of course. The chicken too is hard. It's hard to grow the chicken, hard to prepare the chicken. So it's kind of we have to appreciate it too, right? So for me, every food have to be appreciated. I don't separate bad food,
Yep.
expensive food, luxury food. For me, it's same.
I like it. It's a sane approach to food. Food is food.
Food
Give
is
it a
food.
chance,
Yeah,
right?
that's it.
Speaking of chicken, then, do you do chicken butchery at the?
No.
I was gonna ask. I'm like, I was so excited. I'm like, oh, did she use a deba for chicken
I
butchery?
can do. Actually, I even doesn't know how to butcher chicken.
But you can butcher a tuna, so that's okay.
Yeah, but I think so. I can handle with chicken.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's much smaller, and there's only 8 parts really if you think about it. So super easy compared to a tuna.
Okay. Yeah, easy.
Now I have a few. Simple as Jade asks, have you ever been to Japan? So I know in a previous question you said, it would be a dream to travel Japan, but I guess to her point, that doesn't mean you haven't gone to Japan. Have you ever been to Japan?
No, unfortunately. It's my dream.
But
It's my goal. Say that.
It's coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's coming. I know it.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Just a few questions left because this is good. We're doing great on time. How are you feeling in terms of me asking questions, you answering? Are you okay? Do you need some water?
No, I'm good. I have water. I'm good.
Amazing. Did your camera stay on, by the way?
Yes, it's working. Perfect.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Mine's the one that turned off 30 minutes in. I'm like, okay, so I guess I've never done a 30-minute video before.
Mine's still working.
Yeah, that's amazing. All right, Hitchcock7681. I love usernames with numbers. It's hard to remember.
Yeah.
Asks, what is your favorite food to prep?
Fish.
Is there a particular fish?
No, I like to work with any types of fish. I like to clean fish, butcher fish, whatever, do any types of preparation. Yeah, I love fish. I love seafood. And I always enjoy to work with that. And it's great skill.
How about the octopus? Because I remember seeing you with the octopus reel, and I feel like that's a fish that I might not know where to start. I know there's a mouthpiece, right?
Yes, you have to cut it off.
Yeah, you have to cut that off a little bit like the squid, and then you have
eyeball. You have to cut
the
off.
eyeball. But in an octopus, is the head discarded or is it used?
Usually for the restaurant, we don't use the head, but it's edible. Basically, we cook it and we eat it. We can do like ceviche or just sashimi or whatever you want. But yeah, I love octopus. And I got so much hate about, I don't know what's going on, but people hate me that I made octopus. I didn't get it. Like, yes.
Haters because you prepped an octopus.
Yes, I didn't get it. Why?
Every other fish is okay, but not octopus.
The octopus, no.
Okay. I can tell you, I think there's fish that are prettier than octopus. If this was about a connection with the fish, I wouldn't defend octopus over even a tuna. Tuna's beautiful. An octopus,
No, but octopus, it depends how you cook it, but it's great. I like it.
Oh, yeah. A great octopus isn't too chewy. It has nice texture.
Yes.
But I've never seen the head get prepared, which is why I wanted to ask you if that was an edible piece. But you're right. In ceviche, I can see the flesh of the head being used.
Yeah, you just chop it up, or you can do sushi as well if you know how to cut it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's edible. Yeah, of course.
You get a lot of sushi out of an octopus head.
Yeah. I mean, not really.
No?
Because when you cook it, it's getting smaller. So
yeah, it's
not really big.
Yeah, that's fair, because it is full of so much water.
Yeah.
those marine animals, right?
So you cook a huge octopus, but when it's done, it's turned small.
Yeah, that's fair. It's for a small family of 4.
Yeah.
A question we have from, I'm going to butcher this username. Jiahotan696 is, how well can you sharpen your knives? Is knife sharpening something you do yourself, or because you're busy all the time, do you just send your knives out to get sharpened?
Never. I always sharpen my knife by myself.
Mm-hmm.
I use whetstone, and I try to sharpen my knife like every other day,
Yeah.
to keep it sharp. I take care of myself, all of my knives. I never send it. Even never try to send it to somewhere.
You're
Because
so
I don't
awesome.
have a time to send it.
Okay.
And
That's something I hadn't even considered that. I thought, well, she's so busy, maybe she's sending it out. But
no.
you're saying I'm so busy, I don't even have the time to send it out.
And also, it's great skill to sharp your knife.
Yeah.
So, and I prefer to do it myself.
Yeah, I think it's one of the best feelings.
Yes.
It's a way of bonding with, I know it's not an emotional thing, it's just a piece of steel and wood and
Mm-hmm.
different composites of plastic, but man, when you sharpen a knife and you did that and you're like, it's sharp because I made it sharp, that
Mhm.
is an amazing feeling.
Yeah, because I'm not big fan of sharpened knives. I don't like it, honestly.
Okay.
But I have to do it, and I always improve my skills, so it makes me excited.
Now, do you then, between sharpenings, hone your knives? Do you have a leather strop? Like, what's your knife maintenance look like between sharpenings? Or do you just go from using to you sharpen? Because
Yes.
you sharpen pretty
Using
often.
to sharpen. Yes.
Yeah.
Because also you don't have that much time. You have to do it fast
Yeah. Yeah.
and go back to work. That's it.
What a different life. You know, people ask me sometimes like, why aren't you a chef? And exactly for what you said, I'm like, because it's too fast paced. Like I couldn't chef Yan, I can make a salad, it'll take me an hour because I put some nice music on and I cut the cucumber until I can see through it. And I'm like, oh, let's do that 20 more times. I would fail as a chef. The pressure would crush me because I love my
You like
at home
okay.
relaxing atmosphere.
Okay. No, if you work in the kitchen, you have to be fast. You have to move.
Yeah.
You have to
Well,
be fast.
my uncle's a chef, not a sushi chef, and I did work with him twice. My first job ever, I was, I think, 14. I worked in an Italian restaurant just doing like Italian appetizer prep, just putting the prosciutto, the ham, the cantaloupe, bocconcini. So nothing requiring knives. Then 8 years ago, before I moved to Edmonton, I got another job in a Italian bistro, and it was really cool because my first job ever was with him at an Italian restaurant. And now all this time passed. I'm now a man, I'm an adult. And so I have different skills. And I did love the quick paced environment. I just don't know that I would do it all the time. So what I like about that job is I was able to realize I can do it. But I kind of just like taking my 1 hour to make a salad.
I would kill you.
No, I know. You know, I can take 6 knives to make a salad. I have a knife that's just for tomatoes, for example.
Oh my god.
I if I cut tomatoes, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna grab this knife. This is my tomato knife. Then for lettuce, I got this guy.
Oh my god. That's too much.
And then for onions, I'll probably grab.
That's funny.
Yeah.
It will
So
be, it will be a nice challenge to do. You and I do the same salad,
yeah,
and it's about the timing. So how much time you need to spend for this salad, and how much I'm gonna spend for the same salad. You know what
now
I mean?
would the challenge be to do it as quickly as I can? Because I could go faster. I choose not to. Maybe the challenge is, like you said, I need to try to get to as close as Chef Yana's time as possible.
Yeah,
That's
maybe.
right.
It will be a nice
Because
challenge.
yeah, one thing I always have pride with is I always say I've never cut myself, and I think that is true because well, I don't cut like the chefs, right? Like
Yeah.
you said you got hate for the octopus. I get hate all the time because I cut too slow. Like cut the onion faster. No, I'm at home. Like I don't want to.
Yeah, of course, it's different at home and at work. But even at home, if I need something, I do fast.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I just got used to. I need to do it fast. I can't make my time.
You have one speed and it's fast.
Yes, it
Right?
have to be fast.
So you pick the salad and I'll try to prep it and tell you how long it takes me.
Okay, that one.
So now you've given me 2 challenges. I got to use a yanagi on the shallot and see if what level of success I can get. and I gotta try to get a bit quicker on the salad.
But try to use one knife.
Yeah, I can do that. That's easy. I know it sounds like I use many knives, but this was just more of an example of how I could feel silly and be like, oh yeah, let me use the tomato knife and this is the lettuce knife. I always laugh that I bought a $500 lettuce knife.
Oh my god, you
Because
crazy!
it's an amazing knife for lettuce. It's so thin. It's a
Yeah, I can tell.
Takeda 220 millimeter Giotto Iogami Super before they had the stainless steel cladding. And this beautiful handle is from Lake Huron, which is an Ontario Great Lake. It's 1,500 years old.
Wow.
I would not bring this to the restaurant. If someone steals this, I would be very sad.
Just for cut lettuce. Wow.
Oh, no, I use it for other things too, but it's amazing at lettuce. Yeah, that's how it goes. Now, Chef Yana, those are pretty much all the questions. We steamrolled through them because, as we said weeks ago, you know the answers to these questions because you're living it. So I want to say a big thank you for agreeing to do a collab with a small guy like me, for agreeing to have a multi-camera setup. I'll make sure I get this on YouTube within the next 6 days, so next Saturday. I know the Super Bowl 2 is coming up. I'm not sure if that's something you're into or like me,
No,
you're like
I'm
super
not.
what?
I'm not a big fan of that. You too? Or you going? No?
No, I don't do sports. I like the Olympics because it's fun, skateboarding specifically and snowboarding. But Super Bowl, I like chicken wings. So if someone invites me and says chicken wings, Super Bowl, I'll say okay, but I won't pay attention to the Super Bowl. I'll just
I go
eat
for chicken wings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what your Super Bowl spread would look like. Yeah, you know what? Let me throw you a completely random question to kind of close it off.
Uh-huh.
If you were invited to a Super Bowl, but as a chef, what type of Super Bowl spread? People always talk about this. It's like, well, I'm gonna make nachos and chicken wings. What would be Chef Yana's Super Bowl spread? And it's okay if it's all fish.
Sushi?
Yeah.
It's gonna be sushi set. Rolls. We can do rolls.
Oh, nice. Okay, so people can still pick and choose?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Perfect. So you heard it there. Chef Yana loves fish so much. Even if she went to the biggest sporting event in America, the Super Bowl, she's not bringing chicken nachos. She's going to make you sushi.
Yes,
so
I'm going to make rolls,
Yana.
but I can do tempura rolls. Okay?
Ooh, yeah. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then they get the crunch a little bit like you would
Yes.
from the chicken wings or the nachos.
That works?
Yeah, that works. I love it. There was no wrong answer. I was just curious.
I would do that.
Thank you so much for spending the time with me. I very, very appreciate it. And yeah, I don't know if this was your first IG Live. I've been telling people I think it was your first.
Mm-hmm.
I'm honored that you did it with me.
Thank you for helping me improve my English skills.
Yeah, isn't this good? It's like a 50-minute tutorial.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we can do it again if ever you have any other challenges, but I have two I got to work on.
I need to practice more, so yeah.
Well, I think you're amazing. Thank you for all the content you create for knife lovers, food lovers, sushi lovers, just lovers of good content. Your stuff is amazing. It really is. And like I said, you do it typically without even saying a word, which as a content creator, I think can even be more difficult. You got to think about what you show on screen. So you're amazing. I know people love you. Thank you for spending the time.
Thank you, Frankie. Thank you so much.
And even though we don't care about the Super Bowl, happy Super Bowl.
Thank you so much. You too. Thank you, Frankie. It was a pleasure. Nice to meet you.
Likewise. Enjoy your warm weather. I'm going to go shovel for like the 8th time.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.